Hey guys, Mr. Abyss here with Life as a Shonen. If you're enjoying the content on our channel, go ahead and like our video and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to go ahead and get updates whenever we put out a new video, go ahead and click that little bell down there as well. Enjoy! We present to you Issue 3 in our weekly series featuring the Thanos solo series leading up to Infinity War. Issue 3 opens up with an interview with a former inhabitant of Titan named Dr. Aurelius. The doctor grew up around the same time as Thanos, and the two were actually playmates and pupils. He states to us that one thing people tend to forget is that at one time the Mad Titan was just a boy. He was a deviant, and because of this was viewed as an outcast on Titan. He looked different, sounded different, and his father held the title of the Great Mentor. Despite all of this, at that time, Thanos was still just a boy. As time passed and Thanos grew older, though, something changed. It was around this time that the killings began. Many children began disappearing, and though investigations were conducted, nothing ever came of it. It was obvious to him, looking back, that Thanos was responsible. He had become a monster and would take the life of his own mother soon after that. We return to the battlefield of Gilgrath, where the Shi'ar Imperial Guard are continuing their campaign against the Mad Titan. By this time, Thanos has come to be known as the most feared being in the entire universe. The Imperial Guard would be a very close second. At its most powerful state, the Imperial Guard are a regiment of superpowered beings gathered from different species that make up the Shi'ar Empire. Thanos informs the Imperial Guard that this altercation could have easily been avoided, that this was a matter between family and not an attack on the Shi'ar Empire itself. Normally I wouldn't say this, but with the state that Thanos is in, it is my opinion that he was trying to reason with them up to a point. Because as the battle continues, though Thanos is effectively eliminating members of the Guard, they are a large fighting force that is not so easily subdued. As the second wave descends upon him, a rare look of frustration is shown on Thanos' face. We are given another interview in between the fighting, and this time it is from one of the first responders to the tragedy of Titan named Sarek Vaughn. She states that although the destruction of Titan is considered a massacre, it would be more accurately categorized as a genocide. Her crew had been deployed to the star system of Titan, which is what led them to being the very first on the scene. As they were traveling, their sensors started going haywire, and before they knew it, they were beset upon by a warship that was heading for Titan. It quickly dawned on them, though, that they were not the intended target, as a shower of bombs rained down upon the surface of the moon, reminding her more of a meteor shower as she watched the destruction. Once the atmospheric turbulence calmed down and they were able to safely descend to aid the survivors, they did so. Alas, there were no survivors. And since that day, Sarek Vaughn calmly carries out her duty with the comforting knowledge that no call will ever be what Titan was. Thanos can be called many things, but at this time, in trouble would be the one to go with. The second wave is making headway against Thanos, much to their surprise. With their commanders viewing the battle from space, they inform the Imperial Guard not to let up a single iota. No matter how the battle seems to be going, they cannot possibly beat Thanos one-on-one. Only through a concerted team effort will victory be possible. They continue their assault with increasing confidence. Thanos is slowing down, even bleeding. Its members lay into Thanos, and as the Mad Titan tries to gather himself, the third wave begins. Our next interview is from someone who was actually a witness to some of the events of the Infinity Gauntlet, Pip the Troll. The question presented to him, which admittedly is absurd, is whether or not Thanos is evil, to which Pip replies with the information that Thanos once eliminated half the life in the entire universe. Now, many question whether or not the event even took place, since the good guys won, and at the end of the day, all that had come to pass was restored to its previous state to before Thanos gained the gauntlet. But Pip was there. He saw Thanos present his work to Mistress Death as an offering to her. The event may have been fixed, but does that make what Thanos did any less evil? No. To Pip, Thanos is the most evil entity in all of existence. When we return to the battlefield, we are shown a scene that almost never occurs when going up against Thanos. His back is against the wall, and Thanos lashes out at the Imperial Guard much like a cornered animal facing its own mortality. And like a cornered animal, this is when he is at his most dangerous. Thanos regains himself and sets about dispatching the remaining members of the third wave. One by one, he eliminates them, and as all hope seems lost for the Guard, they call for the big gun, the Gladiator. It seems that the Shi'ar were showing almost a reality show of sorts as the battle with Thanos was going on. The final person interviewed is the Gladiator himself. To him, saying Thanos had been a blight on the universe would be an understatement. In all of his adventures with the Imperial Guard, no other being in the universe has brought about as much death, destruction, and chaos as the Mad Titan. Normally, they would not employ a strategy that involves collecting together and relentlessly attacking Thanos like this, but they were given important information that this time Thanos is different, that there is a flaw in his physiology, an opportunity to test out their theory. In the middle of his interview, the Gladiator is notified that it is time to find out if the Mad Titan will break. The final wave does its best to hold Thanos back until Gladiator arrives, but they are fighting a losing battle. Oracle commands them to hit Thanos with everything they have, most likely to dole out as much damage as they can output to Thanos, just in case he's still able to stand toe-to-toe with the Gladiator. I would like to note also that a fully healthy Thanos would destroy the Gladiator. Like, it wouldn't even be it might be a thing for a minute, but it ain't gonna last too long. With the battle beginning to take its toll on Thanos, he looks almost ready to fall against the onslaught of the third wave. Much to his chagrin, he then hears the voice of the Gladiator behind him, and with a single, full-powered blow, Thanos is presented defeat. By the decree of the Gladiator, Thanos of Titan is now a prisoner of the Shi'ar Empire. Surrounded by those that defeated him, Thanos lays unconscious and on his way to prison. And with that, we come to an end of issue 3. Have a good day.